Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How are y'all doing today? I tell you what, it's Saturday. It's Labor Day weekend. I've been on the road this morning. I've got my travel coffee going here. Our little community here has a community yard sale, and they have it every year, Labor Day weekend, on that Saturday morning. And with the COVID and everything, a lot of people wasn't set up, but a lot of people were. So Mom and I got out this morning, masked up, was outdoors the whole time, so we felt pretty confident with that. And we got a few little goodies, and we love to go junking. Love it. Love to go junking. I found an antique sifter I'm excited about. I found a beautiful patriotic framed picture that was framed in a mirror, in a window. It's so neat. I'll show it to y'all. But come back and I thought, I'm gonna fix something good today. Y'all know what that is. Look at that onion. That's a Vidalia sweet onion. We've got them just in a pack here at the local store. And one of y'all, Diana Aaron, I think was your name, you sent me a recipe a couple of weeks ago, and I was so intrigued about it. I said, I'm going to try that one. It is Vidalia onion cornbread. I'm going to do a little variation on the recipe. Of course, you know I will. We don't follow all the rules. But I'm going to basically use that recipe and make some Vidalia onion cornbread. Part 1. Now, y'all know I've been wanting Thanksgiving. I wanted it last month, actually. And so I'm going to have that for lunch tomorrow. Mama and I talked. Mama said, I got you a turkey breast. I said, all right, let's do this Thanksgiving. I don't know, just about this time of year, I think it's fall. I think it's, when I feel fall coming on, I think about all things fall, and Thanksgiving's right up there with all things fall. I am a little red today. I'm not stroking or anything. This is where I was out in the sun for a minute. This is just what sun does to me. And it'll be fine tomorrow. But Mom said, I got you that turkey breast. And she said, you ready for that? I said, yes, ma'am. So I'm going to be making Vidalia onion cornbread, regular biscuit bread, because those are the ingredients for the wonderful cornbread dressing. And we'll be putting some onions, probably yellow onions, in our cornbread, in our dressing. So, but for today, I'm going to fix this cornbread. And this cornbread is going to kind of be, I may eat it with some of that leftover vegetable soup. But this cornbread today is going to be the meal. And I don't think the point of this cornbread is to have that crusty, crisp, crunchy on the outside. It was just sort of like, almost like a cornbread casserole or something. But anyhow, it's got cheddar cheese. It's got a can of corn in it, and it's kind of like Mexican cornbread, but with onions. So I'm excited to see what the flavor of that onion is going to be like in it. I'm going to put a little bacon grease in ours. You know, in the South, bacon grease is gold, liquid gold. So I'm going to put a little bit of bacon grease in ours. My daddy used to love, he called it greasy bread. We make cornbread, as I've told you all before, a couple of different ways. We make fancy cornbread, and that's why we put a little flour in, and it raises up. So if you're taking it to church, or you're taking it to someone's house, or you've got company coming over, you might want that big, thick cornbread. So we put a little flour in it, eggs and all that. And then we make just, we always use buttermilk, but sometimes we just make buttermilk and cornmeal, and we call that regular cornbread. And it doesn't rise because it doesn't have the flour in it, and it's flatter. Mama likes that the best. She likes flat, thin cornbread. She'll say, don't make it too thick. That means don't make that old fancy cornbread. But my daddy he called it greasy bread. And he would every once in a while request it, and he'd say, why don't you fix us up a pan of that greasy bread? And I said, okay. Because when you put the bacon grease in it, it does make it greasier. You can tell the difference when you feel it. It's not like dripping or anything. It's not deep fried. But you can tell that bacon's in there. It's kind of like crackling cornbread. Now, that's something we've not made for y'all yet, but we do make crackling cornbread. And it's very good. Now, used to, back in the day, we had our own cracklings, because we would render, in case you don't know what a crackling is is rendered hog lard, hog fat. You put it in a pan, sheet pan, you bake it in the oven, all that'll melt out of it, and you'll have these little chunks of crispy fat. It's kind of like the pork skins you get, pork rinds that are barbecued or whatever. It's kind of like that, only yeah, basically that's what that is. Pork rinds are basically cracklings. Hope y'all didn't learn something like, ooh, because that's what it is. But you can put that in cornbread and it's delicious. Absolutely delicious. We don't make it often because now we have to buy our cracklings. And you can buy them at the store. So we'll get some of those sometime and show you some good crackling cornbread. But today, I'm going to show you this Vidalia cornbread. I'm going to fix this onion up right here, and this is going to be the basis for our sweet onion cornbread today. So y'all stick around. Okay, so now let's get started on this cornbread right quick. So the recipe, I don't have the amounts. I don't think I had those. It was a video. So I'm just going to give this Vidalia onion right quick. Just going to cut the ends of it off. I know there's rules on leaving the end piece on there, and I don't know. I just don't.
You don't follow rules.
Mama's called me out, but it is true. I don't follow a lot of rules. But sometimes an onion, I'll cut it and it really hurts my eyes or something. But most of the time it doesn't. And I did try the little trick that they were suggesting with the having something wet like a paper towel, and it did seem to work for me. But I don't have a lot of trouble because I wear glasses. I don't know. But I'm just going to cut this up right quick. You want them kind of thick. Maybe yours will be better even than mine is. This is a Vidalia, so it's a sweet onion. Vidalias are usually in season through August here, and but you can get them year round. I guess they process them, grow them in a hothouse or something. But so what I have here, this is just going to be a small pan, and I just put this on top of the stove, and I melted 2.5 tablespoons of butter. That's what it calls for. Usually I use lard or something else, and now all I'm going to do is just going to start out with an onion in the middle, and then I'm going to just halfen these slices just like this, and I'm just going to put them around just like this. That can go over there. And I'm going to take the rest of this. This has got a double seal. Double seal, double peel. Look at that. Double seal. Mama thinks I'm being funny, but really it did. Alright, so I'm just going to cut the rest of this one. And I'm going to quarter him. This is going to show, you don't have to make it fancy or nothing. It's just cornbread, but I'm just going to stick it right here in these little corners.
Did you mean to leave the burner on?
Well, no, actually I didn't, Mama. I fuss at Mama for doing that kind of stuff, so she's taking this opportunity to pay me back. Mama's bad about Mama's bad about starting a project and then walking off, and I said, don't start that stove and then walk off. I just love her. But so that's all the bottom's going to be right there, and that's going to be the top of our cornbread. So that was simple. That was just butter and Vidalia onion, just one slice in the middle, and I just sort of just covered your bottom of your pan basically. Now here's one of the cheats. I'm cheating. I'm going to put these sweet peppers in here. I know I'm not making Mexican cornbread, but I think this will be a nice little color addition. And this is just going to be a little red pepper, and it's sweet. This is not hot pepper. And I'm just going to rough chop him up, and it's just going to be a little bit of color in there. And I probably wouldn't want a green pepper in it like you would Mexican cornbread, because I wouldn't want that flavor necessarily, but I think this little bit of red, it'll just make it interesting, I think. I've never made this before. This is a new dish for me. Mom, have you ever made a cornbread with onions in it? Now, we've eaten our fair share of onions and cornbread and soup beans.
Mexican cornbread.
Mama makes Mexican cornbread, but not like this. So we're going to try this today. And I'm thinking that we're just going to love it because it's got all the elements that I love. Cheese. The only thing I'm not sure about, and I'm going to do it, is the cottage cheese. But that's what the recipe calls for, and I'm going to give it a try. So I'm putting that orange one, I'm going to put that red one, I'm going to put this orange one in there and just see what we end up with a little bit of color.
Are you going to use the Jiffy cornmeal mix, or are you going to make yours from scratch?
I don't know, Mama. What's your opinion on that? It says to use Jiffy.
Jiffy is a sweeter blend.
You want to go with the recipe and just use some Jiffy?
It don't matter.
All right, get us a thing of Jiffy. I may put a little bit of our cornmeal mix in it, but if you got a Jiffy, well, if you want for the Mexican corn, well, why don't we try it? We'll see. Normally we don't use Jiffy for cornbread, but this ain't exactly cornbread. This is going to be Vidalia onion cornbread, so it's going to be a little different. So that is I took 2 little peppers. That's our onion done and our peppers. And now I'm going to open this can. This is just sweet style corn. This is what we call cream style sweet corn. And it's just, that's what it calls for. So, can of corn. So, I know this is a little bit like Mexican cornbread, but
I don't know about using the can. It calls for a cup.
Well, I'll measure it. Hand me a measure there if you want me to, and we won't use it. I'm bad about just putting a whole can. Like if it says a cup, I'll just put a can.
I'm talking the ratio between the corn
Right.
and the corn.
So you want me to use it? Well, here's 1/4 of a cup. You want me to just use a cup of them?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that, Mom. So this is going to be 1/4 of a cup of cream style corn. And I know my cameraman is not following me. Get over here. So this will be 1/4 of a cup of cream style corn in there. No, Mama, you want me to use a 2/4, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to use 1/2 cup. So that leaves quite a bit. See, I would have really overdone it because there is quite a bit there. And then it says a cup of cottage cheese, but I'm reducing. Now this is not the original recipe. I am reducing the recipe a little bit because I don't want a big old amount of it because this is just going to be a quick lunch. And we're going to go ahead and do a regular cornbread. And I thought, well, why am I making cornbread and heating up the house? That's Maggie.
Yeah, she's going to
I thought somebody's at the door. It's not. It's Maggie. Maggie beats on the floor. Sometimes it sounds like the door. Alright, so this is going to be 2/4 of the 2/4 and a dab if you're writing this down.
And a broccoli.
So I'm putting the cottage cheese in here. This will be 1/2 cup of cottage cheese total. Yum. So that's that. That's their part of that. Then I'm going to put in, yes, this is home shredded cheese. Shredded straight out of this bag. I know some people is going to say it's so much better to shred your own, and it really is. But I don't have a block of cheddar, and then you have to shred it and make a bigger mess. And I'm just really wanting a little bit of cornbread. So this is going to be 1/2 cup, and however much that is, of shredded cheese in there. Shredded cheddar. You can grate your own, and it is good. And I do it sometimes. I just haven't in a while. our store don't have the blocks handy, so if I go to another store, sometimes I'll get some blocks of cheese just to have on hand. Now, I didn't want to fool with doing bacon, making bacon, just for this cornbread. I didn't want to turn this into an all-day event, but I did want the flavor. And these are real. Boy, I tell you what, they are packaged good. These are real bacon bits. And they're good on salad, and they are real bacon. It's not the processed whatevers. I guess I can use the same old spoon. This is 1/4 of a cup of real bacon bits. And that's going in there. I do like these if I have to use something besides fresh. Bacon is hard to... You can put it in your micro pro grill and put it in the microwave, or you can put it in the oven and it don't splatter that much, but let's just be real. It's rough to make bacon, and it'd be 2 or 3 slices of bacon just for a little bit of that, and this is handy to keep on just for that real bacon flavor. I'm going to mix all those ingredients up, and this is the liquid gold. Yes, this is bacon grease. Rendered bacon grease. When we fry bacon, we save it in this little container. It's got a seal, and I'm just going to put a tablespoon. This is 1 tablespoon. I got this set of tablespoons out because it's metal, and I figure if I was dipping it in grease, it'd be easier to clean up, just to be honest with you. So this goes by the stove. We don't refrigerate it. It stays fine. It's got enough salt in it. Bacon is cured to last, and that's just going to be a little flavor, a little goodness in there. Now I'm going to put 1 box of Jiffy cornbread mix. Everybody knows what Jiffy is. It's the yellow cornbread. It's sweeter. This recipe did call for to add some sugar, but since I'm using the Jiffy corn muffin mix, I'm not going to add any sugar. That's the Jiffy. Now don't get out and tell people John was on Coffee Time and he makes cornbread with Jiffy. No, we don't. This is different, Mama. This is different, ain't it?
I reckon I don't like this.
We don't use this for our cornbread. We would never have this with... If you like it, that's fine, but it's way too sweet for what we are used to. So that's where we are with that. And here is one little homegrown. Our cousin raises chickens and has eggs. And that is, look at that rich, that's the way you can tell. Mama, I didn't check it, but
I noticed it was too much for me to holler.
It's good. Mama believes in checking every egg. There will be no eggs unless they're checked eggs. But look how dark and gorgeous that is. And that's it, folks. And I'm gonna blend this up just like this. And then I'm gonna add a little buttermilk. This is not anything like the way we would normally make our regular cornbread, which I'm going to show you that in just a second. But this is just for this Vidalia onion, sweet onion cornbread. Now see, look, doesn't that look good? And it's not going to need much buttermilk, but I am going to put some buttermilk, and this is just cultured whole buttermilk. I'm going to use the same little dirty. Well, I had a piece of onion. Mom said, "Why'd you get quiet? You used to be being quiet."
No.
This is a 1/4 cup of buttermilk, a 1/2 cup of buttermilk. It had a piece of onion skin on the bottom of it. I just called it dirty, and I thought, well, it really is dirty. Now it's got onion skin on it. It's not really dirty, people. Mama, it's not really dirty.
I'm cleaning up this mess.
Yes, ma'am.
There's too much.
I'm getting evicted, is what she's trying to tell you.
There's too much clutter on there.
Mama, since this is the first time ever making this.
And I've got news for you. I believe you got more than your skillet will hold. That's the smaller skillet, sir.
Well, that wasn't my question, but thank you. Okay, so since it's the first time we're making this, this is not the consistency of my cornbread. Does it need more buttermilk, in your opinion?
No, you'll go out. You've got a ton of butter.
Is this enough right here?
Yeah.
Well, I put the butter in there, and the reason I done that is the recipe called to put butter in here. And I thought I'll just put it in my skillet and let it melt, and it'll all incorporate. So that's what I done. All right. So I'm going to...
Just don't pour it all in there. Just kind of check it.
So here's our skillet. Can y'all see? Mama, you might have to... Mama, here's some more garbage, so she is cleaning underneath. You all can't see her. Mama, hand me your dish rag. I've got a little corn, cream style corn. A little cream style corn right here, and I know you're wanting to swipe underneath me anyway.
Yeah, I want to get this. It's like clutter. I couldn't do it.
Look at this wild woman.
I'm sorry. It's just pure clutter.
I am in the middle of cooking. Mama, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Well, that was awful to try to work in that.
It's just food. Right here.
Thank you. Let's clean up a little.
Oh, the struggle's real. Mama, I'm right in the middle
Get
of
your
cooking.
cornbread in there, and then we'll finish it up.
You can't even tell I've been cooking. You can't even tell cooking's been going on. She's got me all cleaned up. Yes, ma'am. Here you go. Alright. So here is our skillet with our onion and our butter in it. And here is our mixture that you just watched me mix up. I've done the measurements. And I'm going to put it right over top of this. And this skillet's not hardly as hot as it was. So I'm just going to pour this right on top of here. Just like this. I believe Mama's wrong.
It's too thick for the little pan. You're going to have real thick cornbread.
I like thick cornbread, all right.
You're going to be just like you like it then.
This is going to be different in cornbread. This is going to be, we're going to make the other
Vidalia cake.
Vidalia cake. See, it fit just fine. Look there. The butter is all up around the edges, which will make for a good. I'm going to pull the butter over in there a little bit so it won't be a messy oven, because Mama might have been right. It might have been too much. Might have been just a spell too much. Look there, Mama. Does that meet your approval?
If it don't come out in that oven.
Put a pan under it. Folks, I think this makes my approval. Mama might not think so, but look there. That looks good to me. Now I'm going to bake this up for 25-30 minutes, I believe it is. And then we're going to come out and show you the finished product. That's one reason we didn't go live, is because you're going to have to wait to see this. I want you to see the end of this. I don't want to.
You gotta load it.
Mama's acting like she can't lift it. Now that. I want you to see the end result of this, because it's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be wonderful. Vidalia onion cornbread. I can't wait.
I don't have to do exercise this evening because that cornbread.
You ain't going to exercise.
That cornbread was so heavy.
She wasn't going to exercise anyway. Y'all hang around, okay? Alright, folks, it's come out of the oven, out of Mama's Easy Bake Oven. And, Mama, it smells good. I want to show it to you. Mama was right. I overfilled it just a little bit, maybe. But it didn't come over the edge. A little butter got at the bottom, just a tinge. So see, it did rise really good. I didn't think it would rise that much without any flour in it, but I guess that corn and other stuff made it rise a little bit. Now this is real life, so you all going to watch us dump this out.
I might should have stand up and step away.
I hope it turns out good. This just came out of the oven, and I'm just going to go around it like this. I don't do that on regular cornbread usually. but I'm a little nervous, just to be honest. So, folks, don't judge me on my cornbread flipping skills if it don't turn out just right, because...
You put your lid on here. Put your plate on here.
Is that what you did, Mama?
No,
I ain't doing that.
With the butter and onions, you might order to.
No, I'm going to do it just like this, Mama.
Do it like a pineapple upside down cut. Well, it did turn out.
Of course it did, Mama. And look, one little onion stayed behind.
If you do a pineapple upside down cake, you put your plate on top of it.
Yeah, and I get all twisted up in them plates and stuff. And it didn't stick really, but it did leave a little stuff in there. Now, ooh, Mama, this looks good. Now the picture, it showed the caramelized onions a little different. Can y'all see that? Let me hold it up.
Darker.
That is the Vidalia onion cornbread, John Davis version.
That's a upside down onion bread. I like pineapple upside down.
Let's see what we do. Mama, I don't think it's done.
Nope.
Defeat. Alright, folks. Let's do take 2 on that.
Take 2.
It is browner. It does look better. I just now dumped it out of the skillet. We left it in there another 10 minutes. The recipe said leave it in there about 27 minutes. And I left it in there 30 minutes and it wasn't quite done. I think it is done now, Mom, but I think it's going to be soft.
Well, the corn and everything in there, it will be.
It's not like cornbread, like, you know, your typical cornbread. And it could have been the Easy Bake Oven. Caused it not to get done. But now the Easy Bake makes our regular cornbred even quicker.
But it's not as thick. This was pretty thick in that.
Mama can't get over that thickness.
Well, the thicker something is, the longer it takes to bake.
Yeah, that's true. You can make it thinner. Here's 2 things I would change next time I make it, so you all can learn from our mistakes. I would take Mama's advice and I would make it thinner. A little bit, but it's not terribly thick. It's 1.5 inches. I would not put as much butter in the bottom as I did. I would go ahead and melt my butter, but I would pour it in the batter and blend it in better. Because I thought, well, if just have it in the bottom, it'd be just as good. Mama, we're 100 miles apart or something tonight.
100 miles apart. That's me, I guess. I don't like
There we are.
I don't like for us to be 100 miles apart.
No. Okay. So, now we're going to do the taste test. Let's bless it, Mama, because this is lunch. This ain't just tasting.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful meal, and we thank you for the privilege of being able to prepare it, dear Lord, and we thank you for being able to share it with our friends. And dear Lord, we just ask you to be with all those that are suffering, and all the sickness, and all the storms, and all the things going on in this world, dear Lord. We just pray that you'll be with those issues that have come up, be with all the folks in Afghanistan, all the soldiers that we've lost, dear Lord. Just pray for all the hardships throughout the world, dear Lord, and just pray that you'll bless and lead, guide, and direct in all of them. In your precious name we pray. Amen. All right, Mama, this is lunch, so make it count.
I don't know about onion and cornbread. I eat hush puppies, though.
I sure say, Mama. It's just different. Mama don't do change. I like it.
Good as Mexican cornbread.
It tastes really good.
The corn and the onions and stuff, it's about the cheese. It's just about like Mexican cornbread.
If you like different cornbreads, you like, and it's got that jiffy flavor.
I don't think it'd be as good with plain
Cornmeal.
Probably
not. But I wouldn't add any extra salt. Just the jiffy cornbread mix is enough. It did get dark on top, but I believe part of that was the cheese. It's not burnt, but it's just good and golden brown. It's like cornbread color on top. I'll let you see close to it. I would make it again. The top's my favorite. Because it is that cheese and all that together.
Yeah.
You can see here the peppers and the onions in there. I added the peppers. They don't give it a peppery taste. They just give it a sweet, that sweet pepper. It's not like green pepper. Mama, what are you going to give it?
I'll give it a fixer again. It's good. Or you starve me out till it tastes real good.
Y'all know Mama, if she tolerates it, it's one thing, but she says fix it again. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I would fix it again, Mama.
Yeah. 2
things I would change. I would not do the butter, like I said, and I would bake it a little longer. We baked this on 450 for 40 minutes. Well, yeah, total 40 minutes in the oven. If you
had it in a little bit bigger skillet, it would probably got done in time.
I'd make it a little thinner.
It would make it thinner.
So make it thinner and bake it longer than, if you look it up online or somewhere, you see the cook time. Ours took 40 minutes. And that's us taking that once and trying to. But when I dumped it out and I stuck the knife in there to cut it, I saw raw dough. I knew that was going to be a no-no. So, but 10 more minutes, done it right. And you're not going to have, it's not going to be dry. It's good and moist. But it is done now. And
like I said, it's sweet. It's a upside down onion cornbread.
It's very good. I would do it again. I'm anxious to try it in the big oven one time, just to see what the difference is. But that's lunch, and that's good. And a little bit of bacon in there. You can taste it. If you had home fried bacon, by all means, crumble it up and put it in there. I just didn't want to fool with it, to be honest with you. I just didn't want to fry up 2 or 3 things of bacon. That'd have been another 20 minutes.
We had bacon yesterday morning, but we was piglets. It was all gone.
I just made 4 slices, though.
Oh. So that's why they want much.
I made 4 slices, and Maggie got a slice. So we only had 3 slices between us, Mama.
I just ate one.
Okay, I ate 2. Maggie ate 1.
One of them slices wasn't very big.
Maggie got a big one.
I know it.
We don't always feed her off the table, but it's hard. She loves bacon, and it's meat. So she gets a little slice of bacon
every once in a
while. Bless her heart. She deserves it. But while I was baking the cornbread, you ever heard the old country saying, lick your calf over? That's what we had to do with that cornbread. That's when you do something wrong, you're going to have to lick your calf over. That's just no country saying. I made some cowboy coffee. And it's just now cool enough I can really drink it. Cowboy coffee is when you leave the grounds in there and you add a little bit more on top just to cover it. Add a little bit more water in your pot because you had some left over from earlier. And you let it heat again, let it kind of go back over that again. It's a little bit stronger, but I like it.
I thought that was cheapskate coffee.
Mama. I'm not a cheapskate, Mama. It's like good coffee. It's a real thing. Cowboy coffee's a real thing. People do that.
I know them old westerns are always putting more water in the pot. You don't ever see them put coffee, hardly.
Cheapskate.
Well.
A lot of restaurants do that too, folks. Don't let them fool you. Mama is going to make that cornbread dressing, and we're going to have these same clothes on. She always likes me to tell you, are you going to change, Mama, to make cornbread?
I'm going to surprise you. I may or may not.
We're going to make cornbread and biscuit bread. Regular old cornbread and biscuit bread. Now, some of y'all have heard us talk about pone bread or cornbread. This is not hoe cakes. Not to be confused with hoe cakes. This is pone bread, which is biscuit bread in a
skillet or pan.
A pan or a cast iron skillet, either one you want to do. Baked in the oven. And regular cornbread. And we're going to make that into some cornbread dressing. This can be counted as our pre-Thanksgiving video coming up next, because this is the same way we'll do it. We're doing a smaller quantity than normal, but normally we have 50 or 60 people here for Thanksgiving. with the COVID, that's all changed. But we will have some cornbread dressing of some kind, Lord willing, on Thanksgiving. And today we're going to make some because I'm on Thanksgiving.
It's just
in
going to
September.
be turkey and cornbread dressing, and maybe a mashed potato. We done had broccoli casserole lately.
I tell Mama, I said, I think subconsciously we've been working on this because week before last we had sweet potatoes casserole. And when Mama told me it wasn't a casserole, remember what you were trying to tell me? You all wasn't a casserole.
I think of a sweet potato casserole is with the pecans and the crunchy stuff on top of it.
Last week we had broccoli casserole, which is Thanksgiving here, and Christmas. And then now we're going to finish it off with a turkey breast and some wonderful Thanksgiving dressing. And if you don't know what dressing is, we're not talking about salad dressing. We're talking about cornbread and biscuit bread mixed together with chicken broth, sage, onions, celery, salt, pepper. It's delicious. And we bake it in the oven. And then we scoop it out and we have it with our turkey at Thanksgiving. Cornbread dressing. So we will make some of that up and we're going to have that for lunch tomorrow. Turkey and cornbread dressing. And we'll show you how to do it for Thanksgiving. And I guess that's all we got for now, ain't it, Mama?
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Mama. We'll be back in just a minute, but
No,
this will be a separate video.
I got to rest.
Mama, it ain't nap time. Whew, she's trying to lay down on me.
It's nap time. Look at the clock. If it ain't nap time, it
Say
ain't.
goodbye, Mama, before you embarrass us
Goodbye,
from
Mama.
a friend.
God bless you.
Bye. Y'all have a good day.
Oh.